Even life's smallest challenges offer the opportunity to grow and to change. You must embrace these moments. Allow them to suffuse your heart with a deep sense of fulfillment.
Hi everybody, John here with your Core Daily. And today I bring you my quick and dirty Final Fantasy XVI review. Let's get to it. Final Fantasy XVI is an incredible game. One that I spent almost 50 hours completing, which included the full story, all side quests, maxing the renown system, and 100%ing the hunt board. As of writing this, I have yet to go into the game's deep New Game Plus and Final Fantasy difficulty modes, but I don't think either of those will be significant enough to sway my thoughts on anything discussed here. Like any review, I think it's important to supply the information needed to answer the question, is this a game I should get? And it is strangely a very difficult question to answer in the case of Final Fantasy XVI. It's not to say I don't like it. It's one of the best games I played this year, and considering the quality of games coming out in 2023, that's really high praise. It's a difficult question to answer because Final Fantasy XVI wants to be a lot of things, and it is streets ahead in many aspects, but it does come up short in a few others. How that will ultimately impact your experience is hard for me to say, especially because the free demo, which is actually just the prologue to the game, I don't think accurately reflects what the game ultimately transitions into. For many, the uber serious Game of Thrones style tone will either attract or deter you. But regardless of your opinion, it narratively skews into more familiar Final Fantasy waters more and more as the game goes on. However, even as the story shifts from political intrigue to more internal battles of mankind's will and spirit, it maintains the dark, depressing tone without a lot of the levity and irreverence that Final Fantasy is known for. Sure, there's a Moogle, but he doesn't do much besides give you missions to kill monsters. The Chocobo theme is in there, but only as a couple seconds long stinger every time you mount up. So while the game could be funny, I found it somber more often than I'd personally like. The game also struggles to fully commit to a style of game that it wants to be. It is a stellar action game, but that comes at the unfortunate expense of the RPG elements, which I feel like were included as a point of obligation instead of as a feature. Weapon and armor upgrades, for example, are extremely basic stat increases that come so frequent that the incredible sword you crafted after slaying an iconic boss might only hang around for a single mission, if you even swing it at all. All of this probably seems pretty negative, but that's where things get so hard to quantify with Final Fantasy XVI, because yes, you can look at a few low points and say, look at all that's wrong with this. Or you could do even worse and go, not my Final Fantasy. But on the other side of that is one of the most fun action games I have ever played. I cannot stress enough that I spent almost 50 hours in this world, and combat was as fun, if not more so, by the end as it was when I was just beginning. Or I can talk about how the spectacle of the massive icon fights were so pulse-pounding and cool that I literally cheered and laughed while participating in them. I can tell you that the story was certainly worthy of any other Final Fantasy title, while also making me care about all the game's characters by the end, including a few characters that I was absolutely certain I didn't like. For me, Final Fantasy XVI is far from a perfect game. But on the graph of things that make up the experience, the high highs of the game absolutely tower over the lows. It left me at the end with an experience I'm still thinking about days later, and characters I can't wait to revisit. So, I heard Bo on this last episode of Core talk about his rating system, and I can't claim to understand it. So I'll do my best, but on the Bo review scale, I guess I will aptly give Final Fantasy XVI a 16 out of 10. I'm pretty sure I did that right. All that done, that's my quick review. Let's take a look at this, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Bye now.
Get more at frogpants.com.